Hi, how are you doing? I'm Sylvia if you're new to me. And today I wanted to talk to you about change. What is change? What does change mean to you? In 2018, I went through change. When I say change, I mean change. Change that I had never experienced in that capacity. And I want to start this off by telling you the story of my 5 year old. At the beginning of this academic year 2023-2024, my 5 year old Kuden, he wasn't even five at the time. When he went to school, he was in foundation, so the year before year one. He went to school and he came back to me and said, "Oh, mommy, there's this girl in my class that I really like." That's a couple of weeks later. So her name is Ava. I really like her and I'm gonna ask her to be my girlfriend. I was kind of surprised, like, girlfriend? Where are these thoughts coming from? He eventually, built a relationship with this beautiful little girl that I, from time to time during pickup, would wave at, like, "Hey, that my future daughter-in-law?" Jokingly. But towards the end of the term, something happened that really hurt Coden's feelings. Kuden, in his small mind, thought, okay, let me secure this thing. Let me make a move. So he asked Ava out. He told me in his own words that, "Mommy, today I asked Ava out." And she said no. When he came back from school, he was very sad, kind of devastated. And I felt really bad for my little one. I was like, "Oh, sorry, Chief." We call him Chief. That's his um, little name. So I said, "Sorry, Chief." And he was like, "It's okay, mommy." She said, "No, that's fine." I was like, whoa. Oh, this ability to adapt is something good. I'm liking it. And then towards the holidays came, obviously Christmas break, and Kuden was preparing for resumption for the term, this term, I mean, Jan. And he said to me one day when I was having when he was having his shower, he said, "Mommy, I think I like Autumn now. I don't like Ava anymore." And anyone who would say the name Ava at home would get into trouble with Curtin. Couldn't move on very quickly from Ava. And he said, "Well, I think I'm gonna, ask Autumn out." I was like, "Really?" I know Autumn particularly because in the beginning, when schools resumed, Autumn wasn't really into Curtin. Like, she wouldn't say hello to him. Even when her mom said, "Oh, Autumn, there is Curtin, say hello," she wouldn't. She would just walk away. So I was like, where's this, idea coming from that Autumn is even going to entertain you, Curtin? And he said, "Well, I'm going to ask her out." And guys, guess what? Last night, Curtin came back home and told me that, "Mommy, I asked Autumn out, and Autumn said no." She said that, "Well, I don't want to be your girlfriend, but I can still be your friend." And couldn't, so I asked him that, "How did you feel about that?" He said, "Well, I don't know, mommy." She said no to me and she asked Jake out. Jake is Coden's best friend. She went to Jake and she asked Jake, "Do you want to be my boyfriend?" And Jake said, "Well, if you like." And Coden said he wasn't happy at all about that. He didn't like that. He was disappointed, clearly. Um, I looked at my little one and I said to him that, "Listen, you should not be focused on girls right now, girlfriend, boyfriend things. I think you should focus on your education. It's very important for you to know what is important at this point in time, and that's your book work, really, because no one wants a broke ass dude." Secondly, I don't know what you understand by girlfriend, boyfriend, but it's quite a complex type of relationship to navigate, and you don't want to start putting yourself through all that trouble right now. Um, there are a couple of things I learned from this conversation with my son, and I'm just going to share those lessons with you. And I'd like for you to comment below and share your own lessons that you've learned from this little story that I've just shared with you. And I'm referencing this to my book, I Wish I Knew, because in the chapter 10, I conclude the book with change, being open to change. And in chapter 10, I say that I was forced by circumstances to leave my 3-month-old baby to travel to the UK to pursue my dream, which was an MBA. I wanted to have an MBA before I turned 30. It was a goal that I promised my late father that I was going to achieve, and I promised myself that I was going to achieve it as well. But before then, I fell pregnant, and I fell pregnant for this 5-year-old who is so audacious, and I wanted to have my baby. So after I had him, the opportunity was right there staring me in the face, and I decided to jump on it, which meant leaving him behind with my mom. I tell the story, it was a very painful story. I sobbed a lot. I cried for weeks. I held his romper. I was just holding this onesie on me, smelling it, and just wanting to be close to my baby. And when I left the UK, when I left Cameroon to the UK, my boobs were still very big, and they were still full of milk, and I could feel sometimes that my baby wanted to suckle on them because they were leaking on the bus while I was going to school. It was a very traumatic period for me, and that type of change is something that shifts you and changes your perspective on life. And one of the things that kept me going was, okay, I'm already here in England. What's the need crying every single day on the bus, on the train, in class, making a fool of myself? The best thing I can do is be the best I can be during this course. And I also, my sister-in-law was like, this girl, you went all out, you put your diploma in that book. Yes, I put my diploma because I had 10 A's in my MBA. And that's thanks to the power of change and being open to change. And these are the 5 lessons that I learned from that conversation with my son. The first thing is that we have to understand the power of moving on when we are faced with obstacles. Kuden was faced with this obstacle of Ava turning him down. He really liked her, really. Trust me, he spoke about her every day, learned to write her name, was composing songs for her at home. And his brother and I were just looking at him like, okay, this dude, you're really serious about this girl. Only for him to, build all these feelings and then get let down by this girl. And he's like, okay, am I going to stay here and just cry over this girl? Am I just going to stay here and cry over the fact that I have left my baby behind? And he moved on, and so did I. I moved on. I left my baby. Yes, that was something really sad to do, but the choice was made. Eva had already turned Kuden down. What could he do about it? He could not wind back the hands of time and not ask her and not have the feeling of being turned down. So what he decided to do was to, take a chance on Autumn and ask Autumn out. So that's the first lesson. You have to embrace the power of moving on past obstacles that you face in your life. The second thing is that you have to make the move even if you get rejected. You have to go past the fear of getting rejected and just make the move. Many of us don't want to embrace change because we're too comfortable in our comfort zone to the point where we're like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do this thing because I don't want to get disappointed by X, Y, or Z. I'm not going to do this thing because, well, if I don't try, I obviously will not be faced with that rejection. If Kuden did not try to ask Ava out, he would never have known that he was nurturing feelings that were never materialized. So he mustered up the courage and asked her, and she said no. So it's important that we try new things, we embrace change, even if we get rejected. Try to apply for that new job, even if you get rejected. Try to start that new business, even if it fails. Just try to do the thing. Do it. The third lesson is that rejection is part of the process of having clarity to be able to change strategy. Listen, if I did not leave my son behind, okay, I would never be here speaking to you on this video. This is not me. This is not the me. The me before was someone who lived under a rock. I was quite shy. I was really shy. I would never put my face on camera like this. But because I faced that challenge and I took that leap, oh my God, embracing that change really helped me to change strategy, to change course in my life. Today I'm writing books. The me before, I was an accountant. Listen, I was a finance manager. The only thing I did was bend my head over and calculate numbers, figures, send reports abroad to the headquarters in Denmark. That's what I did. But it's important for us to embrace change, because we learn that rejection is part of the process of having clarity to change strategy. Very, very important. Start that business. If it doesn't work, you'll learn something from that process. Nothing is wasted. Kuden has definitely learned. I can tell you this 100%, because this very morning, I was trying to joke around with him and I said, you need to get out of bed now and get ready to go to school. And I want you to look handsome for your girlfriend, your next girlfriend. And he said to me, no, mommy, I'm no longer interested. You said to me that I don't need to have a girlfriend. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. So he has learned from his rejection that these things are not important for him right now. And you can speak to your children as much as you want to. They have to come to a place of understanding themselves. People can advise you on what to do and how to, manage your life and how to go about the things that you want to achieve in life. But if you don't take action, you will not have clarity. You will not have. You must take that action yourself. And once you've taken the action, you're talking from a place of experience. And that's something that money cannot buy. There's nothing in this world can replace hands-on experience. Lesson number 4 is to learn that just because someone makes you an offer doesn't mean you have to accept it. Okay? So because Kuden made an offer to Ava didn't mean that Ava had to accept it. Kudos to her. I'm so proud of her. I wish I was her mommy. As much as I would love for my son to have the things that he wants, but I'm like, damn, this little girl, she's quite smart. She knows what she wants, and it is something very powerful. I really, really, really admired her for saying no. She said no. And Autumn said no as well. And and it leads me to the 5th point, which is we have to know what we want in life. Listen, Autumn may have liked my son a little bit, but she knows what she wants in life. It's not because people would offer things to you that you have to take them. And you have to know what you want and go after them. Autumn said no to Kuden, and she asked Jake out instead. Yes, she did. She went and asked Jake out. She knew what she wanted. She didn't want Kuden. She wanted Jake. The last but not the least is what you have learned. Please drop it in the comment section. I want to hear all about it. And please, before you come for me, like I said in the beginning of this video, and I'll make a disclaimer, I do not encourage 5-year-olds to be asking each other out, to be telling each other, I care about you, all these things. Society has made it what it is. I, as a parent, can only tell my little boy, listen, this is not abnormal, but it is not necessary right now. Focus on your education, and once you get to that place where you're successful, it will not be hard for you to find the right woman for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, go on Amazon, grab a copy of my book, I Wish I Knew. This book has very profound personal stories about 10 lessons and transformative wisdom that I feel every single person should master, which I learned from the School of Hard Knocks. Go and grab your copy. You will not be disappointed. So far, those who have bought their copies are really pleased with the book, and they've left me feedback, be it on Facebook, on Amazon, or personally. Thank you so much, and do take care of yourself. Bye.